For the price of Knicks finals tickets, you can buy a 3-bedroom house in Oklahoma City. And honestly, that just, it feels disrespectful to both markets because I looked at the ticket prices and generally started comparing them to life milestones. Not vacations, like property. These are not seats anymore. These are financial decisions that could affect future generations. And Knicks fans are still buying them too, which is the craziest part, probably. I don't think people really understand how wealthy this part of the country really is. People are looking at numbers that should only appear during medical emergencies. And, they're saying things like, honestly, bro, let's just buy them. It's once in a lifetime. Meanwhile, the seats are so high up that you're just watching basketball through faith, okay? At that height, Jalen Brunson looks like an ant with good leadership qualities. Okay, I don't know. Like, imagine spending the equivalent of a Midwestern down payment just to listen to the crowd for context cues of what's happening on the court. Anyway, this is what decades of emotional suffering does to a fan base. We have waited so long for this moment that people they're willing to enter mild financial ruin just to scream inside Madison Square Garden for 3 hours. And honestly, I get it. I'm not even mad. Have a good time. But I'm priced out. When I accidentally texted 2 questions in a row, so one won't be answered. Yeah, because apparently, once you send more than one question, the other person is legally required to pick their favorite and ignore the other one. Okay, and it's never the one you actually cared about. I could send, how was your trip, and also what happened with that very important thing that you said you were nervous about. And somehow, I'm getting 3 paragraphs about the trip and absolutely nothing about the thing I was actually asking. So, now I'm stuck because if I bring the question back up, it looks like I noticed, which I did immediately. But now I gotta be that guy that doesn't drop it, that doesn't take a hint. Please don't make me look annoying. Just circle back to both questions on your own, okay? And the worst part is people do it so consistently that I've started predicting which question will be ignored before they even respond. They will always respond to the one I care less about. Okay, so yeah, I didn't ask 2 questions. I asked 1 question and 1 future unanswered question. In the end, it is all God's plan. And I don't mean it in the sense that life is always easy or that every season immediately makes sense while you're living through it. Because sometimes in our mind, God's plan feels confusing, delayed, or completely different from what you prayed for. But, when I look back on my life, I can see his hand in so many moments I didn't understand at the time. Doors that closed and broke my heart, opportunities I thought I needed, prayers that weren't answered the way I wanted, and yet somehow God was still leading me exactly where I needed to be. My perspective is limited to what I can see today, while God sees the entire story from beginning to end. And that's why Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Not because we always understand the path, not because we always like the path, but because we trust the one who is leading. And the older I get, the more I realize that some of God's greatest blessings arrive disguised as disappointments that I never would have chosen for myself.